Good morning. The lake is pretty full, and this changes things because there's a better chance I get stuck. I mean, I could probably do more weed eating actually, and less with the old junker mower. And the reason I use the old junker mower down here is the cypress knees. There's a lot of area I can't even get to with the mower. I don't know if y'all saw the other video where I built up this old junk mower and put a deck on there, but I use it just for stuff like this where I don't want to risk my daily mowers. Well, let me get started. I'll set you down over here. You can see the lake, and we'll go from there. Today I'm using the Echo 2620T. I just got it about a month ago. Well, I'm going to put the camera away and get some work done. Have a good one.
So, the question is, are you using the right size weed eater? And I don't really know how to put this, and this is probably going to be controversial, but I would probably guess no. The reason being is, you saw me on the lake, and if a weed eater can take that abuse, getting wrapped around vines and knocking into cypress knees and everything, then that's very durable. And if it can take that kind of abuse, then chances are it could be quite a bit lighter to do the everyday stuff. So there's that, and then there's also, if you're under 6 foot tall, you gotta wonder if there's a better option as far as ergonomics. In that, if you're over 6 foot tall, I think that most of the equipment you get off the shelf is perfectly fine. But if you're under, then I know nobody has experienced this because, well, there might be other people that's done what I've done, I don't know. But if you're under 6 foot tall, you might find that you'd benefit a lot from a lot shorter of a stick equipment shaft. But the problem comes in, the only where you're going to find shorter shafts is with residential grade. So, and then you don't have the power. So the way I set mine up, I have the Echo engine, so I have the power, and then I have the shorter shaft. And what that does is on my routine yards, where it's just where I'm walking, I'm one-handing it, lets the other arm swing, and that gives you a lot more control, for one, because you don't have your body all crunched in together trying to walk and everything. And also gives you more speed. You can move fluidly down a line, string trimming next to hardscape or fencing or whatever. And I do it the opposite of way, like Spencer's. They do it where I do it cross body. It gives me more control. And when I'm going counterclockwise around like a fence, so the fence would be on my left and the machine is set crossbody, I have better control. And when it does start to snag in, it doesn't suck right into the fence line. I have, more control that way. But anyway, with the shorter shaft and with my stature, it's a lot easier to, I'm thinking I get 3 additional yards a day with the same degree of fatigue, because I've had to use the other ones. So I don't know. Yeah, the way mine is, if you go back on the video, I modify the clutch to accept the Ryobi mid shaft and attachments. And that's what I've been using. And as you can see, the attachments, they pocket right here on the top rail of my truck. So with the hoop, the way it is on this Ryobi half shaft, you stick your arm through it, and that's what's the advantage of a nice big hoop. Stick your arm through it. On your way back to the truck, you're already pulling the attachment. By the time you get to the truck, the attachment's off, okay, and you're putting it in the rack. And there's a little spring that holds it down, and then you're sliding the other attachment out. And as you're walking back to the work envelope, you're putting that attachment into the machine. So what you're saving there is, if you had the other type of setup, you'd have to come back to the vehicle and secure that edger or whatever, because they're long. You can't stuff them behind the seat. I stuff this behind my seat, but they're long, so wherever they're at, they're going to be invisible. They're going to be visible. They're going to be in a visible location. So then you got to shut that machine off, secure it, grab the other machine, start it, and then finally get back to your work envelope, which I don't even have to start a second machine. I'm just coming back and swapping attachments. I'm at the truck maybe 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, which I'd have to think is a lot quicker than coming back to rack one and then grab the other one. So for me, that works. And if you're shorter, unfortunately, you'll never know, because you can't there's no machine made. It's one size fits all, if you can believe that. So I don't know how that's supposed to work, because I've heard that ergonomics are important for fatigue and repetitive activities, but apparently not in this case, because the manufacturers insist on making only one size. So in other words, if you want the bigger motor, you got to go to the commercial grade equipment, which the stick on them is always way too long. You can't just twist the head and get into tight spots. There's a bunch of reasons why you don't want a long shaft. Now, when you're out on the lake and you're busting out rough stuff like that, yeah, get myself away from the debris and everything, that's great. But 99.9% of my yards are not busting out a lakeside or doing cleanups. 99.9% of my stuff is moving, making distance while you're holding the machine and making it do what it's supposed to do. So the distance traveled is what's paying you. Does it make sense to carry something that's not ergonomically good for your body stature and way too big and for the task at hand? So that's just my opinion. All right, I'm gonna get back out here and get some more work done. Have a good one.